you our go.
Alright everyone, this is Diesel for Imagineyourgoddess, and I'm doing a deck profile. Today, by request, I built a Musketeer deck in order to do. Thank you, Alice Zander, for your request. I'm just going to go ahead and run through it as quickly as I can. First off, you start off with the Musketeer starter. The Musketeer starter is also the grade 3 searcher for Nectars. It's a pretty balanced card, but more importantly, it has Musketeer in the name, so you can use the Musketeer effects. Going straight into the triggers, we have 4 draw triggers. I'm using Dancing Sunflower because I like it. And then we have 8 crit triggers. 4 of them are Chestnut Bullet, and the other 4 are Musketeers. If there were more Musketeer triggers, I would suggest using Musketeer triggers, but there aren't. There's just the heal trigger that is the Musketeer. So at this point, we have 8 Musketeer triggers and 8 non-Musketeer triggers. 4 draw, 8 crit, 4 heal. Moving into the grade 1s, we have 4 Rebeccas. Lily of the Valley Rebecca is one of the first Musketeers that lets you counterblast to search for a Musketeer. It's a 7k booster, so you're going to hit 19k rows pretty often. It's all around pretty good card. Then we have Ruth. Ruth is the 10k attacker when you have a Musketeer Vanguard. It is pretty balanced card. It's got good effect, and it's a 7k booster, so again, 19k rows. Then we have 4 perfect shields and 2 8k boosters, Corolla Dragons. Now, if I could replace these, if there was a Musketeer perfect shield, I would replace it, obviously. If there were an 8k vanilla that was a Musketeer, I'd replace it, obviously, but we don't have those kind of cards, so we deal with what we have. Let's move into the grade 2s. We've got 4 Augusto. Augusto is the 12k attacker for Musketeers. If you have a Musketeer as your Vanguard, he attacks for 12k. Strong card. Then we have Caviance. Caviance has a 9k base, but he does search like Rebecca searches for Musketeers. Helps you correct your columns, get your strength on the field, and all around pretty decent card. Then I'm running 4 Tulip Musketeer Amira. She is a damage switcher. That means counterblast 1, you get to take a damage and put it from the top of your deck and put it in damage zone. At the end of the turn, shuffle damage into your deck. I have used her ability a total of once so far. It's not the optimal rear guard for this deck, and certainly not the optimal Vanguard. But it is a Musketeer, and being able to search out and correct those rows is what Musketeer is all about right now. We'll move into the grade 3s. Grade 3, we have 3 copies of Herman. Herman is a 10k that, when boosted, is a 12k. So he's always a good row. He always gives you 18,000 columns, and it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Your best bet is to have a Corolla Dragon behind him, so you can get a good 20 row for those 10k Vanguards. But this row can consistently hit 16 and 18 for the 11ks and the 13k Vanguards. Finally, the bread and butter of the deck for Cecilia. Okay, now Cecilia's abilities are twofold. One is that she gets to do the Search a Musketeer ability. Just drop a Musketeer and search for top 5 cards instead of 4 cards like the other 2 for a Musketeer and put it in the rear. But she can also counterblast 1 and shuffle 5 normal Musketeer units into the deck in order to call out 2 Cecilias. So you can always keep your front row replenished and use the use the Musketeer search ability without too much trouble. Now guys, remember that you can only use normal Musketeer units. So the heal trigger and the draw trigger, or the crit trigger, are no-go. You cannot shuffle these in. But you can shuffle in just about every other card in this deck. It replenishes your deck so that you don't have to worry about deck out too much. So far, my best experience with it has been solid 19k rows. Since I don't run any stand triggers, I can attack with Cecilia and put major pressure on, and then just shuffling cards every time my deck's looking a little low from the search ability. It's pretty good. It works pretty well. I would encourage you to try it, see if you see anything that I don't, something that might boost the benefits of the deck. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any decks that you want to see deck profiles of, any matches you want to see, anything else that you'd like to see us post, don't be afraid to put it in a comment. This has been Diesel for Imagine Your Goddess, signing off.